Good morning, happy Friday, everybody. So, right now my low is the fact it took a lot longer to get this video started than it should have. Reason being is, okay, so the way I do things, if I know I have somewhere very important to be later in the day, or there's something I know for a fact I absolutely need to take with me to get my day started, I will put all my stuff right by my door. That way I know in order to leave, I gotta remember to take it with me. Pretty smart, right? So, I'm getting my stuff ready, and all of a sudden, my nice belt is missing. And I'm frantically looking for it, and then it dawns on me, last night, my belt was one of the things I put by my door so I would remember to grab it before I leave. Oops. But, you know, at least I found the belt. It's fine. For the record, it's a nicer belt than the one I'm wearing right now. Basically, I was getting my outfit ready to go for when I go to the game tonight. Horseheads versus Corning. It's going to be awesome. Speaking of football, I gotta go over my NFL pick for last night, which I'm very happy about. In fact, that's actually part of my high, as well as yesterday's Hot Ones episode. Shout out to Pharrell Williams. I'll be getting into that momentarily. And my act of kindness was, okay, so my mom did get mad at me a little bit last night for doing this act of kindness, but she apologized for it, so I'm not too mad myself. Basically, whenever my mom watches my nephews, sometimes she'll take them over to her house, right? I visit my parents every day. Before my nephews left, I go inside, I look in the family room, and you sure the hurricanes are going on in Florida right now? Holy cow, it was a mess. And keep in mind, I don't know where all the toys go. I don't know what goes where. All I know is I need to pick the toys up off the ground so the room looks a little nicer when you walk in. So I tell my mom I picked up all the toys, and she yelled at me for not putting all the toys in their proper place. I mean, again, she apologized for it, and, you know, quite literally, anyone would have done what I did. Not to mention, I mean, I know my twin nephews are about to turn 5. Actually, they'll be 5 in less than a month. And my youngest only just turned 3. So it's not like I expect them to, you know, do everything to be completely self-reliant at that early age. But the least they could do is pick up their toys a little bit. Like, to be honest, all I did was just put the toys on like this giant coffee table where all the toys are. That's all I did. And yeah, so definitely oh yeah, I also emptied the dehumidifier for my dad. So definitely my heart was in the right place, and again, my mom did apologize for it, so that's okay. But stuff like that really does make me wonder, like, I mean, you would think someone who at least tries to do one act of kindness every day, you'd think, like, you'd have no regrets, like, doing so. Stuff like that kind of does a little bit. So, I'll be honest, last night it made me think I should probably never do anything like that again. I mean, that's not true. I would. I mean, my head would tell, you know, I literally just went over this with somebody else. Like, in terms of what I should do and what I would wind up doing, like, my head is telling me what I should do. My heart would be to tell me what I would wind up doing. You know, basically what I'm saying is I would do the right thing above all else. As much as, you know, doing the opposite would be sad. As satisfying as doing the opposite would be, it wouldn't be the right thing to do. So, let's go over my NFL pick. Because if I recall correctly, the 49ers did in fact win. That is what I predicted. Let me get that up real fast. Yeah, the 49ers won 36-24. That's awesome. So, relative to my NFL picks, if I can pull those up real fast, that now brings it to 1-0. I can quickly show you right here real fast. Yeah, 1-0. If you can see. There we go. So I'm now 1-0 for the week. By the way, yes, I am aware that it's weird. Like first time ever doing all those videos of Akuka Lake, like the image was reversed, and I don't know why that is. So, I mean, right now I really am 1-0. But if on you guys' screen it looks like it says 0-1, trust me that it really is 1-0. Because if you literally watched yesterday's video, I did pick the 49ers to win. And they won, so that's why I'm 1-0. Now, before we do anything, we must save as, because that's what you're supposed to do when saving a file. Save as. Yes, I'd like to replace it. There we go. Now, let's go over yesterday's episode of Hot Ones. If I can get it uploaded. Okay, so Pharrell Williams, for those who don't know, is a incredibly talented musician, singer, artist. His accolades are a mile long. And he was actually promoting his new movie, Piece by Piece. It's basically a biography of his life. However, the twist is it's done in the form of Legos. Think the Lego movie. You know what? In a lot of ways, it's the Lego movie meets Rocket Man. Because, I mean, I haven't seen Piece by Piece. In fact, honestly, I haven't really seen a movie since Inside Out 2. At least not a movie in the theater. Which, again, if you haven't seen Inside Out 2, actually wouldn't be in theaters anymore. Yeah, I think it would be on Disney Plus, though. Seriously, like, if you have Disney Plus, you gotta watch Inside Out 2. And the first Inside Out, for that matter. Seriously, like, watch the Inside Out movies. Like, after Toy Story, I would say those movies are, like, God tier in terms of how good Pixar is. Actually, a lot of Pixar's bad movies in a lot of ways are better than some of the other studios' best. So, I mean, at least that's my opinion. So, yeah, let's go over, the fact that, okay, I'm getting sidetracked. Pharrell Williams on Hot Ones. So, Sean first asked him, and this is actually something that never gets brought up enough. Because normally when you think music, you think like, sound, like you hear music. You hear the notes, you hear the rhythm, like, in a way, this movie, Piece by Piece, Pharrell Williams says, in a way, this movie, it represents music as something visible and tangible. Like, you can see the sounds and hear the colors, as well as what you would normally do, it sounds cheesy, but, you feel the rhythm, if you will. And, in growing up and working with, like, Missy Elliott and Timberland and the Clips in Chad's Garage, it was just kids having fun. Because Sean asked, like, when doing all that, did you think it lead to something more, or did you think it was just kids having fun? Kids having fun, man. I mean, listen, for all intents and purposes, if nothing else, me making those videos way back in early 2018, I mean, yeah, it led to this, but at the time, even if I wound up, like, not doing it anymore, I would still look back and say, you know what, I had fun doing it. Then I asked myself why I ever stopped. But that's okay. Like The Simpsons, this will never die. He talked about early lessons he learned from his old high school music teacher and marching band teacher, specifically about discipline and carrying your weight. Like, when you do that, it really is more rewarding. I'll get to that later. Actually, I'll get into it right now. Like, they talk about how success fuels creativity, but also damages inspiration. And according to Pharrell Williams, the key is don't confuse the process for success. You got to ignore any distractions, and that way you'll be able to continue to love what you do. You know, like, because we're conditioned to believing if you do this, if you do this, in order to achieve what you want to achieve, if you do if you follow by the rules, do these steps correctly, you're going to get what you want. And in many ways, that is still true even today. But sometimes you got to go above and beyond, or sometimes you got to think outside the box to get what you want. And maybe sometimes, yeah, you do have to break some of the rules. But as long as you continue to love what you do, and you understand, again, you know, the process and success, they overlap, but the process will always overcome success if you want to be successful. The real prize is getting to do what you love to do. I mean, listen, take me making these videos, for instance. You know, I only have 128 subscribers on my YouTube channel. No way in hell am I getting paid for doing any of this. But it's a lot of good old-fashioned fun. I love doing this. Plus, and you know it's funny. Like, people hear stories about how you gotta knock on the door to, you know, get what you want, or like get a job or something like that. In many ways, doing these videos every day, that's literally me knocking on the door. Sometimes you gotta do it for a long time. He talked about how Pharrell, I actually did not know this until this episode, Pharrell Williams created the McDonald's jingle. And what's even funnier, he was fired from McDonald's 3 times in his youth. And he's the one who came with the McDonald's jingle. How crazy is that? The ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. He invented it. I did not know that until yesterday. That's really cool. They talked about how, because along with being a very talented artist, Pharrell also loves to dress really nice. And he tries to show off, but not in a way that's materialistic. Like, over time, he's kind of like, you know, he understands that, you know, to look good, if you look good, you feel good. But, you know, try not to be materialistic, and that is important. He talked about crate digging and, you know, finding inspiration, and how it's like one of the most unique ways to find a sound. And one of the most unique ways he found the sound was he was at this one meeting where he was listening to this politician saying, "No, wait," and that's how he came up with the song Lemon. Those are his words, not mine. They talked about future predictions, like how there is going to be a colony on Mars. The sound of music itself will change quite dramatically in time. And Carl Sagan once said that if we've been boozled long enough, we tend to reject any evidence of the bamboozle. Which, you know what, I agree. In fact, according to Pharrell Williams, we're living that thing right. We're living that right now. It's going on even today. So, yeah. Actually, this Hot Ones episode had not one but 2 association games, and the first one came, of course, after having to bomb. So, he refers to Daft Punk as euphoric, Beck as eclectic and deep, and Nori is funny and bombastic. Okay. And then, really, the ninth wing, fresco sauce arbol scorpion. It was basically just Pharrell Williams passing on wisdom to future Hot Ones guests. That really was about it. It was one of those wings where, you know, Sean and whoever the guest is, they just sit there and talk. That's really, in fact, it was Sean who said, just passing on wisdom to future Hot Ones guests. Or maybe it was Pharrell that said that. One of them said that. Point is, that's how it was. Nothing too major there. And then, as I said before, there were 2 association games. This is the second one. Associate one of his songs with one of the sauces on in front of him. So the classic front, Ninja Napalm, nothing. Los Calientes Verde, give it to me. And the last stab, grind it. Okay. You know, association games on Hot Ones, they do interest me a lot. I never really talk about that much, but association games on Hot Ones, I mean, it's not like they happen every episode because they don't really happen that often. So, for one thing, the fact that we got 2 in one episode, it's really cool. But I never really think too much about them due to the fact they happen so not very often. But it makes me wonder, if I'm ever put on the spot like that and I have to associate one thing with another, depending on what the rules are and what specifically I need to associate with what would I say? What would I do? Makes you wonder, doesn't it? But, yeah, Pharrell Williams. Great episode of Hot Ones. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that Pharrell did it. And I'm trying to think. We've had Chance the Rapper, Pharrell Williams. I'm trying to think of who's been a coach on The Voice. That's what I did so far. So, to my knowledge, you've got at least 2 coaches on The Voice do Hot Ones. And give it to Pharrell Williams. He did a lot better than Chance. If you saw Chance the Rapper's episode, you'd know. No offense to Chance. Chance is awesome. But he didn't make it. Point is, Pharrell Williams, great episode. If I have an opportunity to see Piece by Piece, you better believe I'm going to watch it because I love the first Lego movie. I should watch the first Lego movie at some point. I gotta do a MoReas on that. Anyway, great episode. Horseheads plays corn tonight. I'm pumped. I got the bell over by the door, so I grab it before I go. Let's do this. I hope you like this video. If you like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, on social media. As always, after helping this video, for everybody else watching your video, we're having a wonderful Friday. Oh, happy Friday, everyone. And remember, if you guys want to talk to you, always be able to lend you, always be back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.